That's good.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just a few updates from Arsenal transfer news. But first of all, I just want to say well done to Robbie from Aftv for hitting 1 million subscribers. You know, I remember when they first came out, and I used to do a few videos with Arsenal Fan TV, and they basically gave the fans a voice. And all of this was because all the Wenger stuff was happening, the Wenger out stuff was happening. The club didn't like the language coming from the fans, and they shut off the forums on their website. So the Arsenal forums were gone on Arsenal's website, and it was almost as if they were telling us what we can and what we can't say. And Aftv gave the fans a voice and really started all the other channels that are going through on YouTube at the moment. And it's been a great community to be a part of for me as well. I mean, I haven't always had my awareness on YouTube. I've been on Facebook for 7 years with 101, and it's been all right. It's been a blessing. There's a lot more fans that I get to meet from various countries in Europe, and the awareness is building up. So I want to appreciate, first of all you guys for backing the channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. But well done to Robbie and the guys there at Aftv. You've done an outstanding job, and it's been great for the team. And obviously, you know, the fans as well. I mean, it is by the fans for the fans, but the team players also, you know, you guys watch it. The team players also watch it. A lot of the agents I know, they watch it as well. And also Ivan Gazidis even admitted that he watches it, some of the content. So yeah, we're out there, guys, and just well done to everybody and all the Arsenal content creators, not just Aftv, but there's a lot of good ones out there, and I implore you guys to also look for them as well, you know, because they'll give you just as much fun and enjoyment. So let me just touch upon a few things now. Now, Yannick Carrasco, listen, there's all this stuff going on at the moment where his teammates are starting to turn against him. They're coming out at social media saying he needs to fix up, because why does he want to leave? The team have now suspended him and told him, you know, not to come back unless he apologizes and all this stuff. Otherwise, they'll release him from his contract, which is probably what he wants anyway. Look, guys, it's just a lot of drama. And, you know, if you can remember, Arsenal picked up quite a lot of players. Aubameyang wasn't happy with his team. He fell into our lap. You know, Lacazette wanted to move. We tried to get him for a few years. He ended up falling into our lap. Santi Cazorla was one of the biggest coups. Real Madrid put a 40 million euro bid in for him the year before with Malaga, and they turned it down. The year after, financial play rules, and Malaga had to come up with money fast. Arsenal jumped in there for 12 million euros. Remember, he was valued, they turned down a 40 million Real Madrid deal the year before, and Arsenal ended up getting him for 12 million. So Arsenal are used to getting these crazy deals. You know, Kolasinac was on the free as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if something like that happened. But overall, I would just really leave it alone. We can't control that situation. So I don't feel that it's even worth bringing his name up anymore. We need to look onwards and forwards. We're in for, you know, Kieran Tierney, Ryan Fraser, you know, we've got all, you know, Wilfred Zaha, we've got all these players. Deals are there to be done, but we're trying to play the poker game, and our poker face ain't that great. You know, we don't have a good poker face. I've said to you guys 100 times, money is new to Arsenal. Remember 40 millions and £1? Money is new to us. We are almost like a kid in a candy store with your first week's pocket money. We don't know what to do with money. We don't know how to negotiate. Those things to us are new. We're in our infancy, whereas some of these teams have been doing this stuff for 1 or 2 decades. Money only started pouring into Arsenal since Puma and the Emirates deal was done in 2014. So all of this stuff that we're seeing now, it doesn't surprise me. You shortchange Ryan Fraser. You did it with Vardy as well, yeah? You shortchanged Vardy on the salary and on the amount. You did it with Riyad Mahrez. You just shortchange everybody trying to get the quick deal. And what it does is it makes you look cheap, and it questions your ambition. If you guys remember, Liverpool came in for Vardy afterwards, after we did, and offered him not 120 grand a week, 140 grand a week. and offered to pay more. But the clause, I'm not sure whether you guys remember this, the clause in Vardy's contract stipulated that it would be for Champions League football, which at the time Liverpool wasn't in. So Liverpool could not have released that clause, if it makes sense. So we're in a situation now where we're trying to get all these players. And believe me, let me talk about the Zaha one. The Zaha one makes no sense. Makes no sense. Not only did I talk about how our system and formation didn't really, you know, the Ozil sitting behind the two strikers, there's no room for third option. Yes, if there is, then it's back to a 4-3-3, which is when we had Sanchez, Walcott and Giroud up front, where we look really good in that formation. So it seems to me, by going after Ryan Fraser, by, you know, going after Alexis, that we probably are looking now at changing that option, which means that maybe Ozil's not in the equation for the future. You know, maybe we're not going to be playing with that guy sitting behind the strikers. I don't know. That's on Emery. But all we can say is that to have that option of starting to go in for Zaha makes no sense. You're talking about a team that wants 60 million for a player who's averaging 8 goals and 6 assists a season. You know, Ryan Fraser had 7 goals and 14 assists. What does that tell you? That tells you you've got a player who's not only younger, but is more creative in his game, and he had more assists than Zaha the year before as well. So we're talking about not only adding just goals, but adding assists as well. Remember in 2013-14 when Walcott had 21 goals and 14 assists. That's a lot. You know, Walcott was great because of the goals, yes, but he provided 14 assists that season. And when you're doing that as a winger, you're doing your job. You're creating that. You know, I never forget that the assist that Walcott had when he ran through the whole Liverpool team and slotted in, I think this was in the Champions League, and slotted in for Adebayor for the tap-in. That was one of probably the most remarkable run I've ever seen. He ran past 4 players the whole length of the pitch and then laid it off for Adebayor. You know, these are the things that we need. We need somebody like a Riyad Mahrez. That's why it was disappointing when we didn't bag him, because Mahrez, when he won Player of the Year, had 17 goals and 11 assists and went straight to Man City. You know, 50-60 million. With Zaha, for me, I don't think you've got that kind of polished player. He didn't work out at Man United for those same reasons, because while he's a good player, and I'm not going to dispute that, when you look at his numbers, averaging 7-8 goals, and they're getting better, he's getting better year on year, but the assists are not there as well. Creatively, he just isn't there. Chances created, assists, he's just not there as a player at this level. With someone like Ryan Fraser and someone like Alexis, they're getting players that can hit 14 goals or assists and just able to give you a little bit more, but at half the cost. You know, at 20-25 million. And you don't have to spend 60 million for that. And that's where I can't sign up to the Zaha deal. I can't do it. So all this talk about Emery going to the board and asking for more money, it's just rubbish, because you know that Raul Sali and Vinay are going to always be looking for that lower cost option that can still give you the production that you want on the field. So I'm all about that. I just think you can get a lot more for 60 million rather than, you know, for 60 million, we probably could get 2 or 3 players. You could bag Kieran Tierney, because obviously Celtic want upwards of 25 million and we're only offering 10 million less than that. If you had that money accumulated, you can get more players and fill more roles and just do more with it. And that just makes sense. That's just sensible. It's not sensible to spend 60 million on Zaha. I think that the Kieran Tierney deal would be good. He's a strong lad, you know, he's very aggressive on that side. He wins a lot of balls. He closes down hard as well. That's another thing I noticed. Sometimes when you're playing wing back or left back or right back, it's your job to stop them crosses coming through. And for years we've seen Arsenal defenders to sit back 5 yards off attackers and wingers and allow them to get crosses into the box, which puts your centre backs under pressure. And I talked about this in the UEFA final as well, when we didn't close down on the first goal which was scored by Giroud. We allowed the cross to come in. Had that cross not have come in, Giroud had not have got his head to the ball. It's just basic defending. We don't close down on opposing players. And I think that you need players and defenders who are going to want to rough it up and get stuck in and put a foot in, you know, be physical. And Kieran Tierney is one of the guys I think that can do that for you. And I think this would be a good deal for Arsenal if they put it through. There's a second bid going through, I believe that's tomorrow. So we're going to have to wait to see on that one. I don't know who his agent is, to be honest with you. But that's something I might ask a few questions about later on today. But they're all for getting a good deal. But here's the problem with all of this. When you pants around with and undervalue players in the market, two things happen. One, the player starts to think, well, am I not worth that much to you? And this again happened in the Vardy situation. And two, it allows opposing rival teams to come in and outbid you. It's all out there, guys. This bid's gone in, the second bid's gone in, awaiting the third bid. These things are happening because you're not giving the teams what they're asking for money. We lost players back in the day to Man United, to Chelsea, to our rivals by doing the same thing. And a decade on, and we still haven't learned that lesson. Look, if you knock a man's door and you want to buy his house, and a man says, look, I want $500,000 for my house, you don't say to him, I give you 400 grand. What kind of stupidness is that? You're walking into a man's house that man don't want to leave his house, you know. You're telling a man, not only do you want his house, but you don't want to give him the money he wants for it. And this is the reason why we see a lot of deals inflated. You know, Lukaku 75 million. No, he was never worth 75 million. John Stones 50 million. Man is on the bench for 2 years. He ain't even playing. And you're gonna fork out 50 million for him. But these deals are desperate. They're desperation deals. Sometimes when you make a big deal and you show off the player, it's really good for the fans. It's good for the fan base. It jeers up the players around you, but it's not necessarily going to be a positive thing if that player ain't good enough. And I think for Arsenal, if this isn't big money that they're asking for, this is just what they feel their player's worth is. We're in a different type of market right now where the prices can be inflated. Some are, some aren't. But guys, 25 million for Ryan Fraser, 25 million for Kieran Tierney. I mean, what kind of madness? What kind of madness is going on? I get that we have to watch and budget our players, and we got a lot of players to replace. But you ain't going to be living in a dinky prime market when everyone's shopping at Harrods. It just ain't gonna work. So you know what? You put up or you shut up. Or otherwise, someone like Liverpool is going to come in, offer these teams what they're asking for, and the likes of Kieran Tierney and Ryan Fraser. But these players are just going to sign up for other teams with bigger ambitions. You know, if you're a player right now, and you've heard a second or third bid is going in through from Arsenal, you're like, oh God, it would be so great to play for Arsenal. But then, if your agent contacts you and says Liverpool are interested, what were you going to do? Liverpool, wow, they nearly won the league and they won the Champions League and they're willing to pay money for me. They must really want me. Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, listen, that's it from me, guys. Let's come back to this when we've got a little bit more clarification on what's going on, and then we'll take a look at it. But listen, it's early doors, guys. It's not till the 1st of July when the money is in the bank account and Arsenal could then go on a shopping spree from all these new lucrative commercial deals. And remember, Vinay said they're going to spend every penny to invest back into the football team. So I'm going to hold him to that, because I held Gazidis to, if we don't make the top four, there's going to be wholesale changes, and there was. And and we're going to spend 120 million a year on transfers fees, which we did. We averaged 128 million. And he was a man of his word, and I respect him for that. So it was a bit sad that he left. But anyway, that's gone. New man in charge now. New man has said what he's going to say. Let's hold him to that. And if we don't see that, if we don't see a correlation of this new commercial money coming in and expenditure, we're going to be on their back, because he has not kept his word. Yeah? From the horse's mouth. This ain't no media. That's why I tell you guys to stay away from this 40 million transfer budget. Stay away. Don't listen. Listen to what the man in the office is saying. Yeah, the man up top, straight from the horse's mouth. Listen to what the man says. The man said We're going to spend every money available from our commercial deals and put it into the transfer market. That's what he said. Hold him to that and ignore everything that you hear from the media about our transfer budget and war chest and all this rubbish. Yeah? Don't play the game, guys. Don't get sucked in by TalkSport and The Sun and all these other writers. Don't get sucked in because they're trying to rile you up. That's how they sell papers. Go with what the team says and trust in what they say. And if they do what they said they're going to do, which I hope so, then we can take them as a man of their word. If we can take them like we did with Ivan Gazidis in the last 4 or 5 years. So let's leave it right there, guys, and then let's have a look at this and we can pick it up later. And hopefully within the next couple of weeks we'll have our first signing and then we can move on. All right, peace out, guys. And again, thanks for the support, guys. Last video was over 400 views, so I really appreciate that. All right, talk to you later, guys. Nice one.